Welcome to Indiana News Desk. I'm Joe Wren. Well, whether the so-called Religious Freedom Restoration Act is a form of protection or a form of discrimination depends upon who you ask. On one side, you have supporters arguing the statute is necessary to protect people from the government enacting policy that can restrict the freedom of religion. On the other side, opponents say the measure will duplicate existing federal law and allow for blatant discrimination. Sarah Whitmire reports on the measure's potential implications as it advances through the legislature.
It's a simple statement. This business serves everyone. But there's more to the sticker on the door of this downtown Indianapolis ice cream shop. Josh Driver came up with the idea for the Open for Service project. He says it's a way for customers to know which businesses open their doors to everyone, regardless of race, sexual orientation, or religion. Driver says it wasn't his goal to make a political statement.
It was more to just focus on or answer the need of where can I take my business where I know that I'm not going to be turned away or that does believe in the same things that I do.
The Religious Freedom Restoration Act gives businesses the right to turn away customers if serving them would interfere with the business owner's strong religious beliefs.
As a business owner, I'm not really sure why anybody would turn somebody away for the sake of income. But I do respect people's decision to do what they feel is right.
We have seen what's going on in so many various states and cities throughout the country where we realize that religious freedom is at risk.
Religious leaders and supporters of the measure rallied at the State House this week with a consistent message. Indiana legislators need to step up to make sure the First Amendment is protected and upheld. Indiana Right to Life President Mike Fichter calls the potential scenarios nearly infinite.
Some of the ways that we believe Senate Bill 101 might be helpful include protecting a caterer's right based on faith principles to decline catering a fundraising event for an abortion business, or protecting a commercial property owner's right based on his faith principles to decline renting or selling property that would be used specifically for an abortion clinic.
In 1993, President Clinton signed the Federal Religious Freedom Act, but 19 states have adopted their own RFRA language, and a handful of others have clauses in their state constitutions that afford the same type of protections.
We have case law that puts a lot of vulnerabilities in our state statute, and it's very important that we send a message to the courts that this body, the People's House, the legislature has spoken on this issue to give the courts direction on how to go about this.
Glenn Tebby heads the Catholic Conference based in Indianapolis. He sees the measure as preventative, a way to keep public policy from infringing on religious freedom in Indiana. For example, Tebby's group runs a thrift store, a food pantry, and an adoption service. What if new state policies didn't allow them to put restrictions on how they handed out food, or required all adoption agencies to give equal consideration to same-sex couples or unmarried couples?
This is a matter of conscience, and it is a matter of being able to have society not only tolerate, but accommodate and help religious belief and religious believers live in such a way that they can contribute to the well-being of the community and the common good.
In his testimony this week to lawmakers, Indiana University Maurer School of Law professor Robert Katz called the bill unnecessary.
While this bill goes to great lengths to assure Hoosiers that their religious exercise will enjoy more protection, it does very little, if anything, to assure Hoosiers that the same bill will not weaken their civil rights.
Several of Indiana's largest employers and the Indianapolis Chamber lined up with Katz to voice their opposition.
This legislation would impact our ability to attract and retain talented workforce, creating a ripple effect across our state.
And businesses are also worried about the potential for lawsuits. Democrats who largely oppose the measure say undoubtedly the statute will mean big business for lawyers.
Democrats proposed several amendments to the measure yesterday, all of which failed after only a handful of House Republicans broke ranks to support the changes.